Alright, we're live again. Today, just gonna have a pretty casual stream. I had a bunch of dental work done today, so I'm like dying. I'm gonna create a different background color so it's not so blue. The drawing tablet is right here, and it's just this blue on the face. So today we're going to update the game to the Unforgiven Systems project into the Unforgiven Space project, and we're going to start kind of a branch that'll have all of the kind of new code on the Unforgiven Space system. So it's a build that we want to do for like a QA vertical slice pass, and then I'll kind of start detailing out some of these stations. We want to do some Blender art, do some oh, this is almost charged, we can unplug it. Do some paneling, and some more level design, like prefabs, like stuff we're going to use for space edit. So that's a thing. And yeah, that's kind of the idea. It's gonna be a chill night. I'm gonna take some more pain medication for my face. Root canals are not fun. And then we're gonna kind of dive. Let me just make sure we're in the right categories of things on Twitch. I think we are. Let's make sure that we're in the game dev category today. I'm doing space work on multiplayer space. Yeah, alright, so just general. Cool. Excellent. Hype train activate. What is this? A shared hype train. Stream together. Oh, okay. That makes sense. I understand. So I'm hoping I don't run into UID issues with migrating the stuff that we had before. Alright, let's go see how broken this is going to be. So I just merged Unforgiven space code and Unforgiven systems in space. I'm sure we're going to have a load of triaging to do. And we crashed it. Hey, Mongolo. Surprisingly, not a lot of errors for just dumping one project into another project on the code side. I don't like the angular velocity being... You don't like the angular velocity being velocity 3 in radians? Do you check if they're rotating opposing each other? What do you mean? If they're rotating opposing of each other. I don't know what you mean. Do you mean for the player, like for rotating the player itself? Like Y rotation? So like what I do for this, let me just show you this in MS Paint. If I even add MS Paint. Yeah, so I don't do any of that at all. There's no rotation. There's rotation in 0G. But like, so the way my character works is there's, you know, rigid body, capsule. Right, so there's a rigid body capsule. And we're trying to pretend that we're above, as an example. And this plane here is going to be the... So inside our rigid body capsule, I have a base, which is a mesh 3D, right? This mesh 3D, as an example, is looking this way. You know, like we're looking down from above, as an example, right? And then above this, you know, if I could do a dotted line, like a dashed line, you know, of this thing, there is another point, which is the camera gimbal. Right, so the idea is that when I'm rotating the character, right, there's two rotations, X and Y, which are done with the mouse. This whole thing here can rotate freely inside the rigid body. So this mesh of the player is totally separate. So it rotates unlimitedly. It's not using physics to rotate, it's using process to rotate. And the camera gimbal itself, so this is Y rotation at the base of the model. And then there's the camera's gimbal rotation, so this, you know, of looking up and down. Because I want movement of left and right and up and down to be equal, no matter what. So, and be not frame rate, or physics frame rate determined. Which means if this thing here is rotated this, like facing this way, I'm using this mesh's basis, this object inside, I'm using its basis when applying the actual angular or linear force. So in other words, the capsule shape itself never rotates. I mean, it rotates in 0G when we're actually, you know, when we're moving it, you know, in 0G, like that's a pure rotation. But while we are a character in first person, like on a planet or just in a level, I move the node 3. I rotate the node 3D, but I use that node 3D's basis when applying the forces on the rigid body. And then you get the best of both worlds. You don't actually like rotate the rigid body itself and make it unstable because it's a capsule. Rotation on Y doesn't change its shape whatsoever, so it doesn't matter for hit detection. So, because before when I was rotating with physics process, but then rotating the mouse separately, I would get weird kind of friction and all that kind of stuff, like kind of weirdness. And that works really well. And it decouples the rate at which you can turn, you know, and kind of makes it feel... Because when I rotate, I want this to be fluid and uniform. And then we're applying those forces based upon the character. and then they can be dampened, and you know. And the animations and stuff are not working because I just totally broke this character switching it over from the other project. Including even the way the gravity volumes work, because it's a new concept for this project. Actually got to get the jump in. But they keep the player standing and make it feel like I had to be able to tell how much angular velocity they have opposite of rotate to stand up. To keep them standing, I just lock the axis, right? Like like when I'm in 0G, right? Like that's the absolute perfect case of because then you're always doing physics, you know, wiggling. You know what I mean? Like realignment, and because you're always trying to keep that capsule, which I find to be just more time. You know what I mean? That you're spending on the like solving. So like this is not like in code. This is auto locked, and then when they're in 0G, it just unlocks them. So it's whether they're in gravity or not determines the access lock, and then there's only one check that there's an alignment system that aligns them to the target, you know, gravity area. Yeah, I gotta take some pain medication for my tooth. So we're just gonna all we're doing like in the next couple of days is swapping out assets for the final versions on the final build, and just kind of unifying all the work I've done so far. As long as I don't forcefully rotate it or move it, it'll just work. When you're doing the physics stuff manually, like how much control do you have over it? Like, does it just not do what it normally does, and then leaves you to do it yourself? How does because I've never actually done manual. Oh yes, I forgot I separated the movement system as a child component. Hello, is this a game server or a client auth? This is pretty much using, right now it's using for testing, client authoritative input and client authoritative positional movement. But all of the universe stuff is server side. So all state, you know, systems, you know, all the stars, NPCs, everything like that. All server authority. And what we'll do is as we move closer to or deeper in the testing, I'm going to be building out a rigid body interpolation system for like client-side prediction, reconciliation, That'll work with the two different states. So I want to handle how ships are predicted separately as a rigid body solution to players, and try to find like a little bit of balance, because those are the kind of the two things, right? Those are the three primary non-client authoritative, interpolation systems. Well, default does nothing. It'll just react to bumps. But then you can call the integrate forces, and that applies the default dampening. But can Godot handle client-side prediction of rigid bodies at the moment? It just does interpolation right now. So if you have authority over, a rigid body, and you're the one controlling its, angular and linear velocity, you can synchronize those properties, and they interpolate fine. And you can also, it appears to be pretty stable, but it's non-authority oriented, right? If they were just on the server and you were telling the server, hey, apply these forces and then replicate them to me, you would still see like a little bit of lag. It would still, like, the input would still feel a little bit slow, a little bit sluggish, but the visual interpolation will work. Like, every synchronized property interpolates its values. But if you want like scroll, you have to implement it. Yep, you have to implement it yourself. So there's a few other options too. I'm rolling my own for US specifically. But if you were getting into it, let me. No, this is not like letting me do the thing. Right, so this is Netbox. So this is a set of add-ons for Godot, which will support like client-server architecture, smooth motioning with interpolation, lag compensation with client prediction, and server-side reconciliation. And then it also uses the null-write implementation. Oh, I made jump pads today to test outside forces, set it up with 2500 force, 100 kg player, and then I tested stuff, changed the mass of the player. Forgot to done that. Stepped on the pad, but if you want like server, you have to implement it. You have to implement somehow client-side prediction for smooth gameplay. At this moment, you probably cannot manually set physics, so physics rollback is not possible. You cannot manually step physics. Depends. But the answer to that is not out of the box, right? Like, that has to be done yourself. I was gonna check and see if what NetFlux does with that, because if you're just moving an object of rigid body on the server and you give yourself a buffer of, let's say, like 100 milliseconds, you can still do it. What are we doing? Movement. Hey, any chance to listen to any bit of the book? Not yet. I've been too busy with work and stuff. But today I had a bunch of dental work done, and I ended up having to go to bed after I got back because it was killing me after the medication wore off. What we're working on right now, which we don't really need to this early, but it was recommended from Fusion. He wants to do some like QA stuff. Is to kind of keep the detailed art version up to date with the main branch. And there's been like a load of changes. There's probably like 6 months since we. You have a dental appointment on Friday? Yeah, I went today. It was supposed to be just a filling, but it ended up being a root canal, and it was like the first time I've ever had a root canal, so that was fun. So this will kind of just test my own modularity here and give me an idea of what type of tool scripts I'm going to want to make for auto hooking a lot of this stuff up. Alright, because it's modular enough that I can swap out just a character model with a final character model, and it should just work, right? As long as the model adheres to the, right, like all the nodes and things, all of its dependencies. Same with the weapons, right? Just swapping out the multi-tool for final. It should just be a one-to-one thing. But the players now have their own, status system, health component, a bunch of other things have introduced since, the original test build. But Fusion wants to make a trailer of what we have, like a kind of a update, where we are with the game. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Let's do it. So let's adventure in multiplayer with our more detailed, selves. And get the the system online. So that's that's what I'm gonna work on this week. This is probably like not really gonna take that long. And I think the Raycast on these need to be changed. Yeah, the player raycast needs to be moved out. Indicator is in raycast code, your status. Oh yeah, right. The ship consoles don't have their custom cameras. Oh, I forgot I actually finished the thrusters. Yeah, and the gravity needs to be fixed. Cool. This is actually pretty not as broken as I thought it was gonna be. Failure keeps trying to get property visual misses from the ship transport model. E-manager. That is the economy tick. Locking all access. Consider freezing the body instead. Okay, so there's some access locking here that we need to turn off. Locking all access is not supported when using Jolt. All accesses will be. Oh, so what's doing that? Let's. I'm gonna go get the medication that I was gonna get taken, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, back again. So we're getting parsers on the economy. That makes no sense because the economy looks fine. Can't open prefab ships. Warp drive. There's a duplicate. They're exactly the same though. I think we need to. What is this in the other project? Warp drive. I get no resources. Limb searches. Did I call it not a warp drive? Yeah, warp drive gray box. Exactly the same. Why is one searching and the other not actually filtering correctly? Oh, because of the way that's listing. Yeah, I don't know why this one's called resource. It's exactly the same. I'm gonna nuke the one that's not on systems. Final model, detailed model, gray box. So resources, economy failed. Resources, economy failed, but it works now for some reason. Maybe we'll clear all this, give this another run, and see where we are with the errors. "17 errors. IK is working. The ship arm. Oh yeah, because we redid that. Menu settings. In the ship transport model, does not have a property for visual meshes. The mining prototype. Use a ship. Ship components ready. Null reference. This one does have weapons already, right? Let's see. Ship components. Fire points are good. The comm system. Menu in game, so under UI. All the new chat stuff needs to be updated. Station modules. Update elevators. Is it assets? Textures, crosshair. Refair's player equipment is invalid. Ship transport model. Why is it trying to get that? Yeah, those are all working fine. Yeah, I don't know why it's giving me this ship transport model. It doesn't exist. There's nothing, there's no script on this thing. It's only a gray box model, so it's kind of weird. Oh, that's just a duplicate. There's two here. I don't know whether there's a ship transport model under stations. That'd probably be a bug. It's probably not supposed to be there. Yeah, like what's using this one versus this one? $103 bytes versus 500 bytes. Where's it coming from? A GLB. Are they both the same GLB? Does it say like weird? This one's assets model ship transport gray box. Okay, that's literally the same. This one's under assets model ship transport gray box. And this one's under assets model ship transport gray box. Assets models ship transport gray box. Same. So that's a duplicate. And that's the original. Out of all the gray box models. And then out of these two, I bet it's the same thing. Nothing seems to be using them. See, in cleaning this up, I'm going to end up finding a bunch of issues. Or there's like duplicate prefabs for no reason. Hey, Solomon. Hey, Woozy. Hey, the Slow. For those just tuning in, my name is Revere. I'm working on a space game called Unforgiven Space. It's like a very happy anniversary. Is it my Twitch anniversary? That's awesome. I got the bag, so we're fine. That's excellent. How's it going, Nancy? Art and music? What type of art and music do you do? Hey, Blushy. How you guys doing? So this is the game. It's Unforgiven Space. It's like a space trucking, you know, adventure sandbox where you're just a nobody in the universe. Oh, comic book artist. That's awesome. That's gonna be my next thing at some point. I need to get someone to do a cover. Kind of a Steam capsule at some point, and it's very hard. Even when you have the art, like I have the art, and all I really ultimately want it to do is have, and I guess I could technically get away with the, I could get away with using some AI, you know what I mean? I really don't want to, but I want to, like, you know, pose one of the characters in front of the ship holding a, holding their helmet. You know, kind of looking a little bit attractive, you know, in a more like pin-up style. What's up? Hang on, what am I missing? The gum. Did you see it? Did I see what? Pause. Writing to your message. Oh, from the other stream. And a casual musician singer. That's cool. Yeah, we need to hear it. Oh, the music. Sorry, Revere. I'm just chatting in here. Oh, it's all good, man. It's all good. Yeah, so like I find 2D is like very complicated. Doing 2D art, especially like in comic book form, it's like a whole different thing than Blender. So I have like 2 projects, right? So this is kind of my workflow for this, just to give you guys an idea here. We're going to our little test scene. So I have like the prototypey version of the game, which comes from Unity. We have unfinished business. Gotcha. Alright, this allows me in pure gray box form, right, and only gray box form, to kind of work on all the gameplay mechanics, right? And then I have Unforgiven Space, the main build. In that build, we have all of the, you know, final art and things like that. So we get a little bit of, have you heard of Grease Pencil? In Blender? Yeah, I just haven't used it. I've not dabbled at all in the arts of 2D in any form. Right, so, you know, we can go grab cargo, put it on the ship. It's a multiplayer game, so that's kind of the general idea. Is you're kind of smuggling and, you know, either doing legal goods or illegal goods from like A to B, you know, throwing it on your ship. Ship's fully outfittable with like tractor beams, mining lasers. Let me give let me bring up Chatterino here also on my dev build. Let's do a shout out here for, let's scroll all the way up for Solomon. Solomon Gumball 1. Make sure to give them a follow. And if you guys are also streaming, I'm assuming Nancy Art Music you probably stream as well. I can give you guys a shout out as soon as the timeout is complete it, but I really appreciate the raid. It's I've been working on this game now for a good 3 years. So originally in Unity, and now we're in Godot land. So sometimes it's like no end in sight, but a lot of the gameplay systems are actually coming together. So it's getting exciting. And thanks for the follow, Gushi Lover. Serious question. What's your favorite Gushi? And thank you as well, Nancy, for the follow. And Weezy. Alright, so this is the this is the prototype game. You also have like delivery missions, so you accept delivery contracts, and you have your pickup and drop off. There are just all these ways of making money, in the game, making credits, spend on your blackjack and your, you know what I mean? Oh, that's nice. What kind of music do you like? Right now we're listening to some, what would we call it? Psychedelic space rock is kind of the genre, and a lot of that actually stems from the 70s originally. And I like everything, all kinds of music. I'm not really limited to. Why is the ship red? Yeah, I hope so. I want to do something more jazzy. It's kind of hard, right? Like, I don't know what I'm going to do for music for the game when I really think about it. I'm going to pause the music. Well, like, we're going to do a little raw Googling here, but something like, trying to find something more space westerny, because I like Cowboy Bebop, but big band maybe a little bit hard, but something with like Firefly intro is probably one of the one, that's probably too westerny. It's hard to find a balance. I think Borderlands does, you know what I mean? Right, so we have like, this is more like country-ish, in a space westerny style. I'm thinking more like ambient music with a lot of guitar riffs, you know what I mean? Like some kind of rock. How like Spaceballs likes to throw in like John, like Bon Jovi in there, like it's how do you make the game feel 80s, right? That's like the ultimate question, because I want it to feel kind of 80s, right? Like that's the era of the game, and. There's a couple of really interesting Cowboy Bebop tracks that really kind of lend to that. Heavy Metal Queen is probably some of the inspiration for. If you've ever seen that episode, I'm gonna watch it muted, but in Heavy Metal Queen you have these space truckers, right, and they're all hauling these massive, cargo modules. I didn't realize it was like my Twitch anniversary. That's awesome. Right, so we have these, like truckers, and one of them is like Heavy Metal Queen, and like she's like running away, pretty much retiring from being like a bounty hunter. And my original concept was to try to capture, that mechanic of like space hauling, And the variations of the ship that I've created, the one that you see now is actually just a cargo, a small ship. But the main ships in the game are these haulers that like hook onto cargo and kind of move them. Right, so it scales, right? It scales from the small level individual. I've always seen like everything in Cowboy Bebop you should watch because every episode is like a lesson, and it's very dark. It's a hard pill to swallow for like like normal Western shows when Cowboy Bebop aired were pretty like typical. Like Cowboy Bebop is like this lady who's on the run and they're going after her and she ends up dying, but she's pregnant and all this crazy stuff. Like, it's just there's some crazy. I guess Cowboy Bebop really doesn't have like enemies per se. It kind of tries to put you in the mindset of the different criminals and why they do what they do. And, you know what I mean? It's very cool, very cool series, wonderful series. But Heavy Metal Queen, I want to find the ship from that episode. So see the intro here? Like the intro is her just listening to music. Alright, so this is the atmosphere that I want to create, right? Bit of rock, But we're going to watch this whole intro, because this is literally what I want to create, right? Heavy Metal Queen. Watch that episode. Fantastic episode, session number 7 of the series. But listen to this while playing Star Trucker. It's funny because Star Trucker is actually based on another one, which is Space Truckers the movie. And Space Truckers the movie, which is also inspiration. And it was there's already a game created, right, called Space Trucker. But the movie, which had like Charles Dance as well, is fantastic. We'll watch the trailer for this as well. And this was also 1996. Now ignore how like stupidly like there's a bunch of robots that are being released on Earth. That's kind of the premise. It's so cheesy. It's the cheesiest movie. Oh yeah, and I have to. I just realized you guys don't actually have my audio from the desktop. I don't think. Let me. No. Actually, yeah. Why isn't my audio going through? Teleport ultra wide. But see, they're just space trucks. And I want to take the cheesiness. The cheesiness has to be like a part of the game, right? It's so cheesy. Yeah, so Space Truckers, another one to watch because that's like major inspiration as well. Let's get some of the music back going again. I'm gonna put on this one instead. The intro of this particular track is fantastic and very much like on point. Right, so it's doing like when even designing the ships, it's thinking about like that. How do we? Let's go back. right? Even like all the like the apartments that you can actually decorate and everything, is keeping everything 80s but in space is very interesting, very challenging. Right, like making it feel just finding the balance between some realism and immersion, you know, is you know, that's the ultimate goal. But I haven't done a lot of art now in a bit. I've been mostly just building and you know, just working on the system since moving the Godot anyway. In Unity, I was kind of keeping the art going kind of one-to-one with the project, but then, you know, in migrating, there's a lot of these systems that need to be like ported over and worked on. So I've been keeping my world gray box for the longest time. So I'm gonna try to put together a vertical slice, like playable vertical slice. You know, some different ship variations, and like this is like a prototype rock crusher for like asteroid mining. And, you know, we have a whole system here of you know, asteroid fields and things like that we can use. So, you know, this month's goal is probably going to be just to do some polish, get the Unforgiven system as main build working one-to-one with the, you know, the test project. You know, so at least we can kind of performance test it a little bit, you know, see how it runs as far as multiplayer goes. And so that's all I've been doing today, and probably like tomorrow is just fixing up bugs introduced, migrating the code base into its like, you know, 6 months of updates. Gotta go. Seems like a really nice project. Bye. Have a good one, plushie lover. Still never answered which plushie you like most. Maybe you like all plushies the most. And thanks again, Forgetful Programmer, for the anniversary. Oh, I didn't hear that? No, it's just my own curiosity. I was curious what your favorite plushie was. Oh, we're just, okay, input map for the light doesn't exist. Oh, easy peasy. Hey, Squink. Probably the 6-foot bear in my room. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, the biggest bear I've seen is probably an anniversary or like a Valentine's Day bear that I bought as a kind of a joke that was probably like that big. Which I have no idea what ever happened to it. Sometimes you just see like an obnoxiously huge plushie and like, I need to gift that to someone, just kind of half memeing and half, you know, it's pretty cool. So our input maps are not set up. Easy peasy. We're just going to copy. This is another thing I need to actually do, is I need to find a way to export the input map as its own resource so I can just copy it over. Oh, the biggest one I saw at Costco was like a 100 kg of pure plushie. For a bear, you mean? I'm going to switch to widescreen here for a second. While I'm working. Now I know I can copy the input map directly from the project file, but I think that's what I want to do, build a custom remapper that kind of saves everything out as JSON anyway. Yeah, so reload was like the last thing that I had in the systems project. Light. Oh, it's actually not much of a difference. Light will be L. make sure all the slots are good. Yeah. So we just need to add light. Had to be like that, twice your size. Okay, now the air is gonna grow. We're not walking around, so we're not registering ourselves as a gravity in the gravity volume. But we're only down we're back down to 15 errors, and all my components are reset to the gray box version, which is kind of funny. Economy system is working. Vehicles. The ship. Oh, weird. Oh, right. Yeah, okay. So the gravity stuff needs to be fixed. Something is still locked. Wish I could tell like what rigid body that is. And the station gravity body is not actually accessing the player status. Oh, okay. So I have two different prefabs for the male and female. I mean, they need to be one. Yeah, so we just need to add our health component. Oh, no, that's not what I want to do. Alright, so all of that seems fine. Let's see if our character actually works. Getting there. Surprisingly pretty straightforward. So the ships need their station set. I wish we could copy stuff from like one Godot project to another. So this is like, as annoying as this is, I find this to be such a better way of working. It's just having like a gray box version, and then obviously this project is still this project. It's just this project with the extra things, right? So, you know, with this model swapped out for like this guy. Just makes it a little bit easier for like testing mechanics, but I need to build better pipeline support to kind of push things into this, and like tooling to help like set up a lot of these materials and whatnot. Yeah, because all we did was add a camera gimbal. I mean, there's a camera gimbal already there, but we weren't using it in the past. So maybe we'll just change it to a marker 3D. And what's its position? Ship camera gimbal. 15 to. Okay, and then we'll move this 1.2 minus 0.2. Okay, so this ship pilot station. Should now be fine. And we'll jump in the, we'll just jump in the ship and see if the ship flies. Nope. So we're not being set to the gimbal. And the gravity is still being weird. Let's make sure the ship has its ship gravity areas set up. And that the stations are actually good. So there should be one pilot seat and one placeholder seat. Here, oh, the camera gimbal's not set. Here we go. We never set the camera gimbal. What else? Okay, that's good. So the ship gravity area, that needs to be empty. Gravity type should be a ship. Same with the station, that's going to be the issue as well. Here's the station gravity area. Needs to have its type set to station because all the enum values got reset when they became enums. So that's a station. We're probably gonna put a planet in here. Don't understand why it's still trying to get stuff from the model, but oh yeah, nice. See that little nice drift that's happening? So the camera is designed to emulate the head. So all the little actions that are happening as the ship's kind of moving and bucking and stuff is... but my free look's now broke in this process. So that needs to be fixed. And also the ship center of gravity and stuff is kind of very weird. You know? But it feels good. Right, other than the weird center of gravity, you know, targeting is working fine. I don't think we have any weapons on this thing right now. Alright, so we're a little bit low in the seat, I think. Need to be a little bit higher. Hologram is good. Let's go into warp. Oh yeah, right. That shadow needs to be disabled on the ship. Oh man, the camera gimbal effect is actually so good. This track right here coming up, I love it. Like, it's how I kind of see myself, like, you know, coming around, doing some piracy. Like, every one of these little medical facility things have their own interior. It's so funny, like, it's wild to me how camera movement itself, not necessarily the speed, like, yes, the ship is moving slow, but the camera, like subtle camera movement pushes that sluggishness to like a more realistic, like this weird, yeah, and the up and down clamps too quickly. There's too much force on the camera gimbal. So the gravity volume is still weird. Either way, yeah, this is coming along. The settings should now be working. FOV changes. Wait, what? It just fixed the gravity? Wait a second, there is weapons. Let me like re-hook them up. Cool, man. That's not this is like way faster than I thought it was going to be to get updated. Right, so there's still like bugs. There's some things that are like not freezing by default, and I wonder if it's the weapons. Yeah, like why are the weapon systems like? Oh, because there's no hard points set up. We need to get rid of a lot of these nodes and combine some of the systems together into like ref counted classes, or just, you know, something. You know, we need like where I have everything that I need, but the systems need to be kind of grouped together a bit more through some type of composition, so that they're a little bit lighter, especially if they're just like data and they're just keeping track of like node paths and whatnot. So they could kind of be sub-resources of a main class, and they just hold temporary node path references, especially relative ones. And obviously they won't hold like a node reference if they're in a resource, but I think I could kind of like change that a little bit, make it a little bit easier to deal with. Ship weapons, beam mesh, raycast. So the emitters are working. There isn't even a raycast on this thing. Audio. Ship component values, weapon, medium, low snap points. It's fine. The emitters are good. Yeah, that seems good to me. But it's not the gray box version. And it's not frozen. See, one of these things has an axis lock somewhere. Is it the star? Because we just need to freeze it. What? Lock rotation? I don't know. We'll just freeze it. I don't know. Because it's the area that we really, a scoopable area that we care about. Wherever the scoopable area is. 250 meters. Where's our camera settings? Okay. I'm not even seeing a visualization of this one, which is really weird. Okay, well, anyway, this is static. This can be reset. Alright, so it might have been the star. So what else are we trying to cast? There's a ship component panel that's not being a panel. Ship component shop resource is set in a panel. Should we give this a test? Station not defined for the ship terminal. So there's a ship terminal. Player shop, ship shop, component panel. Sofa item, furniture, medium. I don't know why that's editable. The rain mission UI. Why does this panel have that reference? Oh, okay, that's good. I know why it keeps trying to get visual meshes from that ship model transport. Ship camera gimbal parent. Get parent, cursed code. Alright guys, it is 11. I'm going to get ready and raid out. You guys have an absolute great night. I'll close it down on the YouTube side. If you guys are interested, follow me on YouTube. It's at Revere, same name. And we'll finish a bit more cleanup tomorrow. I would like to work on some station UI. I think this is the real space. Oh, we're missing shaders for the. Oh! I see where we're getting it. Yeah. Assets. I didn't update those shaders. For the camera. So this is what the the truck stop looks like. can't wait to give all of these like a pass over once we like figure out a lot more of the material. But let's make the gameplay first. Alrighty, let's have it here on YouTube.